Good afternoon. As we hit 4 o'clock on this Friday afternoon, we start with guilty on all counts. The verdict handed down this afternoon in Douglas County for a woman accused of subjecting her young son to child abuse.
She then plotted a raid to kidnap him from a foster home. Kevin Vaughn with our 9 Wants to Know team has been in court all week long. Kevin.
Kim and Tom, prosecutors accused Cynthia Abzug of essentially making up serious illnesses her son didn't have and then plotting with members of the conspiracy group QAnon to take him back after he was removed from her home. The Douglas County jury deliberated about 4 hours today before returning the guilty verdicts. Prosecutors alleged Abzug's son underwent unnecessary and risky medical procedures after she claimed he had seizures, heart disease, and brain tumors. And then they alleged she plotted with members of a group known as QAnon to grab him from the foster home where he was staying. She denied all those charges, but left the courthouse convicted of conspiracy to commit secondary kidnapping and child abuse that knowingly or recklessly caused injuries to her son.
I think probably our most important evidence was the lapse of time in this case. The fact that, in this case, maybe the fact that the jury system moved slowly helped us quite a bit, because then Christopher's pediatrician and his foster mom had more time to observe him without the alleged symptoms.
The prosecution stressed repeatedly that the boy thrived in the 3 years since he was removed from Abzug's care. Kim and Tom, the conspiracy charge carries a prison sentence that could be as high as 6 years, but it could also result in probation. And it's worth noting that Abzug has no prior criminal record, a factor judges often consider in sentencing.
This is a story you've been following for a while. Did Abzug have anything to say after this was handed down?
Tom, she declined to talk to us after court today, but indicated that she will speak publicly after she's sentenced. That's set for October 6th.
All right, Kevin, thanks. We have new information about a crash involving a school bus from earlier this morning. This happened east of Niwot, Highway 287 and Lookout Road. And what we've learned is that a 13-year-old girl was driving a Chevy Suburban when it crashed into the bus. We know that one student and the driver were on board the bus. Troopers say the teenager was using the parents' car, and they didn't know that she'd taken it. The girl will be cited and was released to her parents. In all, 4 people went to the hospital, but there were no major injuries. If you're heading for the Broncos game tomorrow night, or if you need to use I-70 north of Denver this weekend, you better listen up, because pretty soon, later tonight, westbound I-70 is going to be closed between 270 and Brighton. This so crews can remove the temporary barriers and put in the last of the asphalt as part of the Central 70 project. Again, that detour starts tonight, and it's going to go all weekend long. It'll be in place through Monday morning. So people coming from that direction heading for the Broncos game, you certainly want to find a different route. Stay wide of that area.
Otherwise, you're going to be just taking a great tour of the city, enjoying the sights.
Maybe get there for the second half.
That's the problem.
Don't do that.
Kathy, we're going to talk about our weekend weather as well. It's a Friday afternoon with a few clouds out there, and, you know, it's a little cooler, but I think things are going back up.
They are, absolutely. And if you look westward, you're seeing those dark clouds, Kim. Those thunder showers are moving off the foothills into the Denver metro area. We've got scattered showers likely over the next couple of hours. Outside we go. We had that mix of clouds and sunshine today. All of that tropical moisture feeding in from the southwest, interacting with a weak shortwave that crossed the state. Heaviest showers, of course, have been over the higher terrain, where temperatures have been in the mid-60s and lower 70s today. 84 in Denver, few 90s showing up on the map east of Akron and Burlington. Water vapor imagery will show that shortwave to the north of us moving into the northern plains. Tropical moisture rotating around high pressure has brought scattered slow-moving storms to the high country yet again. Lightning detection showing all kinds of activity up there, and a new flash flood warning that has been posted just to the west of the Battlement Mesa area. Flash flood watch out for Glenwood Springs up through Eagle and south to Aspen. All the heavy showers remain south of the metro area for now. They're slowly drifting toward the north and east, so grab an umbrella if you're headed out over the next hour or two, as scattered showers are likely. We'll see the skies clear late tonight, and then with the wind shift tomorrow, we'll be warmer and drier with more sunshine. We'll stay comfortably cool between now and about 9 o'clock, and in Maine weather, we'll break down the weekend forecast in detail. That's all ahead.
Okay. We turn now to Mar-a-Lago and the search.
Yes, today a redacted copy of the affidavit used to justify the FBI search of former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate was released.
That was the affidavit used by federal investigators to convince a judge that crimes may have been committed and get the search warrant issued. Despite the redactions, there was quite a bit gleaned from that affidavit today. Information like Federal investigators reviewed 15 boxes containing 184 unique documents, with dozens of those documents marked as confidential or top secret, thus further highlighting concerns that more classified materials might be in the former president's possession.
The Justice Department released a brief explaining why it chose and asked for redacting the affidavit. It said without the redactions, witnesses' identities could be exposed, possibly leading to retaliation, intimidation, and harassment, and even threats for their physical safety. Former President Trump responded to the redacted affidavit. He took to Truth Social to express his feelings on the matter, calling the incident heavily redacted, a witch hunt. He also shared audio on that site that said, "I did nothing wrong. We were broken into," adding that the judge should never have allowed this break-in at his house. Trump also threw shots at another former president when he wrapped up his statement saying Obama must be very proud of himself right now.
Today was a very rough day on Wall Street. This after the latest comment from Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. The market's dropping after Powell told an audience at the Jackson Hole Economic Symposium to expect economic pain in the future. Well, as you can see, the Dow dropped over 1,000 points. And from a percentage standpoint, the Nasdaq did even worse, shedding nearly 4% of its value. The S&P lost over 140 points as the major averages declined for a second straight week. Buffalo Bills rookie punter Matt Araiza and 2 San Diego State football players have been accused of gang raping a teenager.
The lawsuit filed in San Diego County Superior Court accuses Araiza, along with 2 other players, of assaulting a then 17-year-old girl at a house party off campus last October. The lawsuit alleges that the 17-year-old, who is identified as Jane Doe, had been drinking with friends when they went to the party and was, quote, observably intoxicated. The teenager was given a drink from Araiza, a drink that she did not see him pour. The lawsuit alleges that they believe the drink not only contained alcohol but other intoxicating substances. Araiza is accused of then having sex with the girl outside of the party before bringing her inside, where she was allegedly gang raped. The suit also states that the teen told Araiza that she was a high school student. The risk of contracting monkeypox remains low for school-age children, but more than a dozen reported cases or probable cases in younger kids in schools, colleges, and universities are on alert as a result. There are more than 16,000 people in the U.S. with confirmed or probable infections. Almost all are in adults. 17 confirmed or probable cases among kids younger than 15 have been reported to the CDC. This week, Georgia reported a confirmed case in an elementary school student.
I think we don't need to panic about this. I think we need to stay informed. But the cases in children, as you already said, are less than 1% of the total cases that we see.
Health experts say parents should be aware of the symptoms, keep children home if they have a fever or rash, talk to your pediatrician. There are several illnesses that also cause a fever and a rash, so it's best to talk to a doctor and find out what it is.
Well, for most of the years since it began back in 1989, the nonprofit Women's Bean Project has operated out of an old firehouse in Curtis Park.
But the organization outgrew that space, and today they held a grand opening at a new one. Here's 9 News reporter Katie Eastman.
Finding rhythm in a manufacturing line brings comfort.
We do this all day, so you gotta find that certain pace.
A pace that Nicole Creed needs to keep going.
Kind of helps you get out of your head almost.
Before the 28-year-old mom was packaging beans and rice, she was in a shelter.
I am a recovering addict. So that was my dark place. I've been struggling with addiction for over a decade, and today I'm almost 18 months clean because I have that support and that stability. Me and my son, we have our own house now for the first time, and it's my first one in 6 years.
While we make food, that's really not the purpose. Our purpose is to help women change their lives.
The CEO of the Women's Bean Project, Tamara Ryan, hopes to change even more lives at their new location in Athmar Park.
we'll double within the first 3 years of our operations. So in the first year, as we settle into the space and sort of get our sea legs, we think we'll hire 15 additional women. But by the third year, we think we'll be about twice as many women.
Right. She's like, I'm done.
Right now, the Women's Bean Project employs about 60 women a year.
Right there, perfect.
Each one has struggled to find a job throughout their life.
It's not forever, but they get you to where you want to be forever. Any dream that you have, they will do everything in their power to get you there.
Nicole found power in a new routine away from addiction.
It's very symbolic, actually, of it. You can't ever forget that it's there because it sneaks up on you. But this really, it stops your head, it gives you something to do.
The rhythm of recovery.
Like I said, it's one of a kind.
Katie Eastman, 9 News.
Nicole has been working for 6 months, and she'll graduate from the program this fall or winter. Although the employment is temporary, the Women's Bean Project says women stay stable and supported by teaching them the skills they need to transition into the workforce. Our Fair Game report today looks at a lacrosse player who had to make a difficult decision.
Also, we're headed out into the backyard for some late summer gardening tips.
And we're going to take a live look outside on this Friday afternoon. We've got a few clouds, but still feeling really like a good summer day and a good weekend ahead. Kathy's forecast too.